a Global Tel Link prepaid call from.
I know we had kind of talked about how the story of how you got in prison wasn't exactly how it went down. So I wanted to pick up there
Okay.
and kind of like what happened, what went wrong.
Well, really nothing went wrong. I mean, the thing is, we were sitting there, smoking dope, getting high, chilling, and whatever. And, because during that time period, my birthday had came. And so I was, yeah, you ready to go? She wasn't wanting me to go because there was still, in her mind, dope to smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, nah, I'm cool on that. And so I couldn't find the rest of my dope, and I couldn't find my wallet. And so we got to arguing, and we got to getting into it. So I'm putting on my clothes. I was like, well, I'll be back later to get my stuff. I'm not going to be sitting here. Next thing I know, she jumped off my back, and I threw her off. And I didn't know she had a boxing knife in her hand. So when I came, I was like, man, you better stay away from me. She cut me on the hand. And so, yeah, anger took a hold of me. I'm looking at the situation, and I jumped on her. I'm not going to lie and say I didn't. I'm one of the people that's going to keep it real. I told the police that. I said, yeah, man, as long as she had that knife in her hand, I was trying to knock her head off to keep her from cutting me again. I don't know what was her intention.
Mm-hmm.
People get in dope emotions and get crazy.
Right.
So I'm not assuming that it was anything outside of maybe domestic violence. Hey, next thing I know, I'm going to jail, and it's way beyond my wildest dreams, because it started out with like 6, 7, 8 charges, and then I guess the blessing of having an attorney, they knew that a lot of that stuff was frivolous, so they stayed with what they felt they could make a case out of, and that's how it ended up with first degree burglary, and oral sodomy. Because I guess in the state of Oklahoma, they consider if you get your penis sucked, it's against the law. But you gotta have missionary sex, I guess.
What?
But anyway, I never would have really got in trouble, but when you a man and you jump on a woman,
Mm-hmm.
here in this state, bottom line is they're gonna side with the woman. That ain't always a true statement. The simple fact is, everything I told in my testimony was found in evidence. Like I told you, they had to get a warrant to search her home because I got brutally beat to death, and you saying that your feet have messed up. How do you get up and clean your whole house up, spotless, hide drugs? Then they got to go in and get a warrant to search your home because you don't want them to search your home. And then when you call the police, it's not your brother there, it's your landlord. Who would call the landlord? Would you call your landlord the first person if you got family members in town?
Oh no, I probably wouldn't even call my landlord at all. They wouldn't even know anything went down.
Well, what I'm saying is, you would think that would raise suspicion with the police.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you got to go get a warrant to search somebody's home, that should raise more suspicion. There should be nothing to hide if this was a brutal attack.
Yeah, that is strange that she called the landlord instead of family.
Yeah, and then later on, last year, I found out that they find DNA, never tried to find who that person was, and never tried to interview that person. By law, any suspect that you find, you're supposed to interrogate and exhaust all leads on that situation. Who's to know what happened after I left?
So basically,
what happened between her and the landlord?
So basically, you guys are just chilling, doing drugs,
and doing drugs. Wasn't no serious affair. I mean, we messed around a little bit, but it wasn't no serious affair. Most of our night was spent, because I don't know if you know anything about meth, but meth used to be up like you zooming off the wall.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the drug you said.
I wouldn't stay there.
That's the one that keeps you up for days and days and days.
Boy, you ain't lying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember you had told me that one time you was up for a week straight with that stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was zooming off the wall.
So y'all didn't have sex at all that evening? I mean, did she just make the whole story up?
One time.
So what do you think made her? Was she just upset and angry because you was leaving, and she just thought she would make those accusations?
Yeah. Listen, really it was the fact that I was taking my drugs with me.
Oh, okay.
She didn't buy nothing.
Okay. And she
I'm
just
not
got
gonna take
pissed
nothing.
off.
I'm not gonna leave my $200 worth of drugs sitting around for you. This ain't no, I'm not a drug dealer. This ain't no free party.
Mm-mm-mm. So everything she said was just false, as far as.
No. We did have sex.
Okay.
That part wasn't.
No, I mean like her getting
nothing false
beaten
in
all night and raped and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Come on, man. Come on, man. Please, listen. Trust me. I'm 235 pounds and she's about 100 above 20. I promise you, somebody beat the hell out of you all night. You're gonna look worse than that.
Mm-hmm.
Even my lawyer put that out there in the court case.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm.
I mean, this woman's crazy. You gotta read the transcript. This woman talking about, I made her raise her hand to go to the bathroom. Come on now, you think some black woman gonna sit up there and raise her hand to go to the bathroom, all this old retarded stuff? It's just outlandish stuff. Then, because see, you gotta remember, I went to trial twice. First trial, I had an 8-4 verdict in my favor. The second trial, they waited until after all the college kids and Obama, elected voters leave and they, get to know all white jury. I told my mom, anytime a jury is 40 to 80 to 72 years old and they all white, you're not gonna win no case in that situation. So you gotta remember, Oklahoma, Nebraska, all these big places, if you get an all white jury in these type of places, it's over with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure you can understand that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds like from the very beginning that it was a lot of trouble to be had from the moment that she called, even though it sounded like it probably was self-defense on your part from her, pulling out a knife.
Like I said, if I had got all in my feelings about it, and really I could have just left, but I was so mad about getting cut.
Mm-hmm.
I let myself get overly angry and start to fight the woman.
Yeah.
I really put myself in a bad predicament there. That's why I told you I'm not one of the people to act like I'm not at fault. You know what I mean? I can't say that. I tell you, I can't.
Yeah.
One of these guys that I'm railroading and no, I went over there. I got high. So the fault on me is to be put in that position because I normally don't partake of even kicking it with people like that. I'll do my own thing. And so for me to be put in that situation was on me.
Mm-hmm.
But the situation got out of hand when it got to the court system.
Yeah,
I
get it.
Americans in general, man, you don't get no proper defense, man, in these situations. You're guilty till proven innocent, not proven innocent till found guilty.
Mm-hmm. And then again, it's the man versus the woman, and a lot of times they look at her. Mm-hmm.
You go look it up. Go look at my county, Washington County, which is in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. They go look at all these old baby raping nasty white folks. They getting less than 15 years for molesting children, all kind of stuff. They gave me a life sentence for a crime that ain't even a murder or nothing. I mean, come on, man. Now, you tell me is there judicial justice in that?
Well, I mean, you are black, and we all know how, especially in places like that, down there in the South, a lot of things are not fair. So, yeah.
Well, of course, and that's what. At the end of the day, I mean, that's why I went to trial so that I'm not being put in. Like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna sit there and make some heinous crime like this when I never had a violent history. I've never been prosecuted for any type of bad violent crime in my life. Why? The ends don't justify the means in these situations. There's no history of me being a criminal ever in life.
Mm-hmm. Well, now that you are down there serving life, I know you are working towards getting appeal so that you can get your time reduced.
Of course.
And they have you labeled as a sex offender now. Being that you're telling your story now and how you say it went down, how do you feel about them labeling you by the society?
Well, not really. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of labels you have to deal with. You have to deal with people calling you a homosexual, fag, punk, or any of that. A sex offender, I'm really not offended by it because you go look at the caliber of anything in my case. see is some bullcorn.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really care. Nobody walks around calling me no sex offender. I mean, I'm not a tough guy, but trust and believe me, I'm not one of them guys that guys walk up on me and bother me either.
Yeah.
I'm 250 pounds, 5'10". I'm not one of these guys that's scary or intimidated by foolery.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't, I'm going to be honest with you, that on my paperwork it says sex offender, but people, prisoners or guards, don't bother me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So
That's
as
all
far as
illegal.
like, so when you got down there in jail though, being the reason, the reason why you went, were you treated a certain type of way because of the offense?
Absolutely not. Listen, I came to jail. I told the people put me in general population, and I'm not scared of nobody. And trust, believe me, when I got there, I picked out the biggest white boy, beat him down. They got the point.
Oh, okay. So you
I'm here to
made
do
sure.
my time and fight my case.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got a problem, you trust, believe I got something for your mouth.
Mm-mm. I heard that because I know some people do prefer to be, not
That's
in
coward.
the.
Anytime you let another man discipline you like you're a little boy, you a coward. Because I'm not going to let no man put their hands on me. That's what they got, Georgia. They can have judges and prosecutors to convict you of crimes. Another man is not going to convict me of no crime.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in jail as a criminal as well as me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, I get it. I understand.
I spend my time every day educating myself, whether it's legally, spiritually, physically. My mind is on how to get better as a person overall. I never sit around here and look at labels. Labels, that's what Black Lives Matter is about, right?
Right.
Now people looking at a label and feeling like that's the right. They have the right to treat you a certain way. That's foolery. No man should be put in that category. I mean, sex offender, that's not really something that bothers you. It's not no big deal. I mean, it is what it is. You hear, you got to deal with your situation. These guys know who to pick on and who not to. I'm just not a guy. I'm not one of the guys you picked on.
Right.
Never have been. You ask any of my friends. I'm very tough when I need to be.
Okay, I believe you. I know. But what plans do you have like going forward now, as far as the legal system trying to fight your case to get your time?
I'm already. I'm already have I got a lot of stuff, like as far as getting a time cut and even going forward to try to vacate my whole sentence. So because you gotta understand, when you go to trial, you have a lot more leeway to get. To fight your case than you do if you plea bargain. Plea bargains are an issue to get. Trials are somebody else saying you did something and convicted you. So you get a lot more leeway when you go to trial.
Okay.
Plus, I didn't do nothing wrong as far as what I was accused of, so I'm not going to admit to give and sign some paperwork and sign my life away.
Right. Okay.
If they wanted to give me this life sentence like they did, they had to give it to me. And come on now, you don't get no two trials if they had so much evidence against you.
Right.
I promise you, not no Bartlesville being black.
Well, how do you think it's going to be if they overturn your sentence and you are released early? How do you think it's going to be once you get released? Like as far as like the life that you were
to San Francisco with the homosexuals, live a gay life.
Well, what about the drugs and everything? Are you done with all that? Of course,
I haven't done the drugs since 2012.
Okay. So do they like give you counseling when you go to jail if you're like?
Hell no, I counseled myself. I got on my knees and promised my grandmother, God rest her soul in peace, that I was going to quit doing drugs, and I live up to that promise every day. You understand? My grandmother meant the world to me, and my shame was my grandmother died and I didn't get a chance to be there for her. And I will not dishonor her memory by going back to the same old foolery that got me to embarrass my grandmother. You know what I mean?
I understand. Yes, I remember your grandmother. I have very fond memories of your grandmother growing up in church and hanging out at her house and everything.
Yeah, that was my mom and my father to me. So I just couldn't dishonor her memory. I got her name on me, and I look at that every day, and I know that my life has to have a certain pattern to honor her name. You know.
Yeah, yeah, and I know that she would love that. She would love that, and the new direction that she would. So you plan on going to California?
You better know it's San Francisco with all the gay people.
I did hear that that's like one of the major locations out there where I mean you don't have much to worry about compared to a lot of other places. You're kind of free to be who you want to be.
I want to live in a more liberal state. I don't want to live in Nebraska or Kansas. None of them old idle dumping states, man. People write laws against you in those states. I want to go where the laws are liberal for you, and people in your community are lawyers, doctors, psychiatrists. In the gay community, you have a lot of people that are very professional. You have people that you can, mitigate with that will help you out if you go through certain things. Like I got a friend who's gay, who's been helping me with legal work and stuff. He's real good. He used to be an attorney. He just got in trouble for a little bit of drugs. But as far as legal stuff, I went to him and he's like, man, I got a lot of stuff to help you with. So I'm getting down through there.
Okay, well that's good. And what about career-wise? What do you have in plans? Like, what would you want to do when you get out?
I'm not doing nothing.
Nothing?
Absolutely nothing. I told you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be a gay I'm gonna be a gay rights advocate.
Okay. Okay.
I work for a non-profit gay organization fighting for gay rights.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. They need a lot more people to help advocate for rights for the gay, the LGBT. So
I ain't got time to work. Look at me. I'm 45. What am I gonna do out there?
There's a lot of things that you can still do as far as
Absolutely not. I'm not doing nothing.
Well, I'm sure you.
I ain't got nobody to take care of. I don't have no children.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Oh, that's right. You said you don't ever want any, right?
Never.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't know.
30 seconds remaining.
What'd you say?
I said we only got a few seconds left, so hit me up. I do wish you the best of luck with getting your sentence reduced. I really do.
All right. And I'm going to send you a letter in the mail, all right?
Okay, all right. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.